Zubitech confirmed it. You know what? It's like, I believe it. Unfortunately, I do believe it. I don't know why. I do believe that somehow, some way, this next Call of Duty is actually going to be cross-gen. I don't want to believe it, though. Why would it be cross-gen, though, man? Yeah, all right, you know what? Listen. If, Jake, you're saying you sent me an email? I'll have to check on that in a little while. Listen, man, if the next Call of Duty is cross-gen, then the only thing I can assume at that point is that it's because they just couldn't figure out a way to actually evolve the game that would justify making it next-gen only. That would be it. Where it's like, the only way it could be cross-gen is if they just are not, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're just not doing anything different. Or they haven't innovated in any way. Saying console sales aren't up to the high mark of 80 million or 90 million units sold. Even then, though, I feel like, I know Call of Duty always kind of hangs on to cross-gen longer than most games, but I feel like this would be a new record, right? Right? That would, I will tell you this, if this Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War, I think that's what it's going to be called, if it is actually cross-gen, it's definitely going to disappoint me a little bit, because I would have thought, like, damn, this is the longest developed Call of Duty in history. If there was ever a time to, like, really push the, you know, move the needle, right? Like, push the bar. Raise it higher. This is the time. And if they go cross-gen, I think that pretty much confirms that, yeah, we're not doing that. Even though we had 4 years to make this game, we're still not doing that. And I did see, by the way, I want to say, I did see some people saying that, like, they were confused about the whole Treyarch having 4 years to develop Call of Duty, because they're like, well, didn't Treyarch help develop the previous Call of Duties in, like, the last 3 years? They did, but it wasn't the entirety of Treyarch. It was like a portion of Treyarch, like a smaller portion, kind of, at least I assume, kind of helping out with the development process of, like, zombies and stuff. That's my understanding. Hello, boss. Have you come to talk to us about Call of Duty? Yeah, I'm hoping it's not cross-gen. I'm prepared for it to be cross-gen, but I'm hoping it's not, because I will be a little bit disappointed. I won't lie. I'll be like, damn. 4 years into the gen, and we're still getting PS4 Call of Duties. Because you know another problem with this? You know what I'm thinking about it? That's gonna hurt the console, dude. That, like, the amount of people that would be willing to say, I'm now going to upgrade from my PS4 to the PS5 if it wasn't cross-gen, probably millions of people. I bet you there are millions of Call of Duty players on PS4 that if they were told this year, you got to buy a PS5 to play the new Call of Duty or an Xbox Series X, they would do it. And that sucks, because, like, the longer Call of Duty stays cross-gen, the less incentive people are going to have to upgrade their consoles, and they won't. Like, if Call of Duty is the main game they play and care about, they're not going to upgrade. Why would they? Unless it's like the PS4 version is so shitty, god awful, that it's like, you know, it's just gonna, like, a broken piece of shit. Maybe then, but boss, bro, I can't see the chat, man. I can't see the chat. There we go. Get this out of there. PS4 still hasn't been pushed to its limits? Oh, don't tell me that. No way. Yeah, Black Ops 3, the PS3 360 versions. Everything comes to an end, and so will Call of Duty. You're thinking Microsoft probably told them to do it? I doubt that. I mean, there's a chance, but I feel like that's unlikely, just because, like, if the game, again, the game's been in development for 4 years. If it had to go next gen only, it would have done so, I think, a few years ago. Certainly. Wild Wolf, you're saying inflation is the main problem? Yeah, you know what, man? I was looking into that, and dude, I don't know, like, what is going to happen, but yeah, the economy is just not doing good, man. It's sad. It makes me depressed, because it's like, I feel like it doesn't have to be this bad, and it is. Perfect Image, you're saying the price of a PS5 is a lot to a person living like 1800. Yeah, dude, I get that. I totally get that. Perfect Image. This is probably, you know what? Actually, maybe this is exactly why we're going to continue to see some cross-gen games, because it's like, you know, these publishers, these video game publishers, they're well aware of what's happening with the economy. They're well aware of how much the cost of living has risen, and even just the past 18 months alone. It's like insane. It's insane, dude. And the prices of everything have gone up substantially. And so I do wonder if they're just like, look, we don't want to take the risk. You know, I'm under the assumption that if the next Call of Duty was next gen only or current gen only, it would convince millions of people to upgrade. But maybe not. Maybe most of those people would say, I can't afford that right now. I'm just going to keep playing Modern Warfare 3 or 2 on my PS4 until I can upgrade. And maybe, you know, maybe that's again a risk that some of these companies just aren't willing to take. It sucks. Prince G, you're saying I make 100K and still call myself poor, sadly, because wages won't grow. Only the rich getting richer. Yeah, I keep coming across these like different charts and stuff, and all across social media of like pointing out just how much more expensive it is to just like maintain. I think I read something that's like $12,000 more a year on average, like just to kind of maintain where we like what you were doing in like 2022 or something like that. It's pretty bad. Bidenomics, bro. Bidenomics. Saying COD is treated like Fortnite or Apex, all games people play on PS4 and Xbox One. Yeah, that's true as well. That's true as well, B Flesher. Maybe the way we view COD is just this generation is different, or the way that the publishers view it this generation. I say publishers, I guess it would be Microsoft at this point. Fred, you're saying MBG, if I didn't work in a tier 1 supplier, it would definitely be harder to survive. Well, dude, that's that's why I always thank you guys so much for those of you who support, you know, the channel here, because trust me, I'm not living some kind of luxurious lifestyle. I wish I was. But I'm just thankful to be able to meet my needs and or have my needs met, I should say, and buy video games to be able to play them. You know, I'm very grateful for that. But even still, like I definitely still feel it. You know, I notice things are getting a little bit more like, all right, got to save here, save there, be more aware of. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with being aware of your total spendage, right? Like that's something you should always be aware of. Is try to be, you know, in control of everything. But once things start getting like tighter, you know, you can definitely feel it. Wait, I thought you had a mansion in a Lambo, MBG. Man, I wouldn't even. I've always thought the idea of living in a mansion was strange. Like, I legitimately wouldn't know what to do with a home that big. Like, what do I even do? I have like 7 rooms. What am I going to do in there? Like, I don't know where to go. I would like a bigger home for sure, but I don't know about a mansion. Damn, Fred, you're saying your mortgage went up from $1,300 to $1,500 because of home insurance. That sucks, dude. That's rough. Just more cleaning. Yeah, good. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Gaming Survivor says, sign that Xbox influencer deal, bro. Jenna Hayes says, MBG, make sure you vote for the right person come November. Oh, I know who I'm voting for, bro. I know who I'm voting for. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not diving into that fucking conversation, but no comment. Other than I know who I'm voting for. I'm voting for Steven Seagal, president. Totoki, yeah, I'm voting for Hiroki Totoki for president. Saying, yeah, it's best to avoid this conversation, MBG. Well, here's what I will say. I often feel that sometimes in life, that I feel like that sentence didn't make sense. I often feel sometimes. I feel that sometimes in life, when you're given certain choices, that the choice is simply pick, you know, it's like the lesser, like pick your poison. Pick your poison. And I feel like, unfortunately, with the state of the world and even the United States and just so much turmoil, it's like, I'm not so sure that there's a perfect person or leader at a time like this. And I don't think I expect perfection. Actually, I can say for certain I don't expect perfection. So for me, it just simply comes down to, you know, trying to be as reasonable about it as I can and just thinking, okay, pick your poison. Yeah, shit's getting crazy out there, man. Shit is getting crazy out there. It might be too late. Dude, we'll see. There's never been a perfect leader, MBG. That's true. That's true. I think it's safe to say there are better leaders than others for sure. But I think that's the problem a lot of times with like campaigning and stuff is I think too many people do end up kind of falling into the trap of believing that like they kind of believe I don't know, like they're sold on the dream of like this is the perfect leader. Like this is the perfect person to do this. And it's like, well, no, it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be a bumpy road for sure. But That's why I think it's just a matter of just understanding that humans are not perfect. Everybody has their own flaws, but I do think that there are better candidates than others. Certainly, certainly. Put put Boss on the ballot. I vote for Boss. Planet Schlorpian with a $2 super chat saying 30th anniversary of PlayStation this year equals massive show. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out myself, Planet Schlorpian. I've talked about this a little bit where like I want to say that there's a higher chance Sony will do a bigger celebration of some kind or just a better show to mark the 30th, the occasion. It's 30th anniversary, but I'm really still not entirely sure. I feel like there's it's like a 50-50 chance type thing. Because again, the 30th anniversary is not actually occurring until December of this year, and so I don't think Sony's going to have a show of any kind in December. Maybe they could, you know what they could do? Sony could partner with Jeff Keighley for the Game Awards and do something special, since that'll be the month of the 30th anniversary. They could do something like that. I'd be all for that. New limited edition console, I'd be all for that as well. That would be awesome. I would buy that for sure. Although I don't know that they would do a full blown console as much as it would be like plates. You know what I mean? If Sony wants to go all in, they could do like a, I don't know, they could do like a limited edition PS1 themed PS5 Slim and PS5 Pro. Fred, you're saying MBG, there's a town in my state that has a dog as a mayor, and apparently the issues with spending, they have disappeared. I feel like you're being serious, and that's awesome. That's so funny. Right, you're saying y'all don't even have it as bad as us here in Canada. Trudeau is the worst leader we've had since his father, who also put us massively into debt. I wouldn't know, man. I've never been to Canada. I don't have a problem with Canada. I've just never been there. Jim Ryan for president? Oh, maybe that's what Jim Ryan was teasing. Jim Ryan said he had other things in the works once he retires. Maybe that's what he has in the works. He's going to run for president. Well, it's always going to be turmoil. It's always going to be issues. Something I heard, I think it was last year, is just focus on your little corner of the world and focus on doing good in that corner. And the ripple effect, the effects of it can and will be felt beyond your own little corner. And that really resonated with me because I think that's a great way of viewing it, where you do good where you are, you try to do good where you are with what's in front of you, with what you can control, and it will have an outward effect. You don't know how big that impact is going to be, but that's usually how these things happen. You end up, the things you do end up affecting people in ways that you would have never known. We got Lore Cannon here saying, I'm thinking of buying PSVR 2. Is it worth it? It's tough, man. I got to be honest at this point, Lore Cannon. Like, I have enjoyed PSVR 2, but unfortunately, I have also, I've fallen into that category of people who've kind of, I want to say I'm not going to use it anymore, but I haven't in a while, and I haven't felt like the need. And right now, there's really not that great of a roadmap for PSVR 2. So, I mean, it's tough because, like, on one hand, it is a great machine and it's awesome at what it does, and there are definitely some good experiences on it. But on the other hand, it is very expensive. You're talking about money, and so it's like if you're going to buy it, I would say just make sure you do as much research as you can into like all the different games, and I mean it's hard to watch gameplay because you can't really experience it firsthand. But just really think about it, because I don't know what the future of VR2 looks like. I wish I did, but I don't. And I would say at the very least, wait for the PlayStation Showcase to happen, because if we don't see PlayStation VR2 show up at the showcase, then I would say do not buy it at that point. Because, I mean, I can't imagine that anybody would walk away from a PlayStation Showcase where we don't see PSVR 2 in any capacity. I can't imagine people wouldn't take that as a clear message of, so I guess you guys are just done with this. Because that's how I would take it. So I would say wait until the next PlayStation Showcase, because if Sony does have any significant plans with PSVR 2, that will be where they will showcase it. They'll let you know. And then take it from there. Sorry, I'm just checking to see. Okay. Huh. Already done? Hear that there are 2 new first-party PSVR 2 games in development? Well, I would assume Team Asobi's working on something first party, right? But I don't know what the like. I guess maybe Fire Sprite could be working on something. Sorry, I'm just sorry for the dead air. I'm just reading the chat right now. I just saw Hanzo saying Slitterhead at the showcase. Dude, I forgot about that game. Totally forgot about that game. Yeah, I saw that. Apparently, Foam Stars lost like 90% of its players. I'm not surprised, dude. I think Foam Stars was destined to flop no matter what. I don't think anybody asked for that game. To be honest, it reeks of desperation. And I think people are getting more and more annoyed with stuff like that, where it's like a game that is just so desperate, like we're cool, we're gonna be the next big thing, right? It's like people just shake their head. Michael, you're saying you haven't touched your VR or Portal. Am I gonna do my Big Boss cosplay again? Well, I don't think I would do Big Boss again. I don't know if I plan on cosplaying again. We'll have to see. It was fun the first week, but quickly died out. Well, yeah, I mean, dude, Foam Stars. There just wasn't any hype for that game, dude. Like at all, and it reminded me a lot of like Destruction All Stars, where it was just like there must be some kind of curse where if your game ends with stars, like it's just and you're trying to be a live service, it's like nope, you're done. But yeah, you know, it's interesting to look back that Foam Stars and Helldivers 2 launched on like the same day or something, or like 2 days apart. And I knew Helldivers 2 was going to be bigger, but I had no idea. Like, my God, dude. I mean, that game just got brutally decimated and obliterated. Didn't stand a chance against Helldivers 2.